Hi there, I'm Jen, this is Remembered Reads, and I don't normally do owned TBR videos because I do prefer to use the library, but I do have stacks of books that I own and haven't read, so we're going to look at a few of these. Rick, I almost said from another book blog, but that's not what his channel's called anymore. Rick McDonnell is doing a game, open to any booktuber who wants to play, in which you make a list of 20 books. He spins a wheel, picks a number between 1 and 20, and everybody reads their book of that number. So not the same books, it's all kind of arbitrary. I have picked 10 books instead of 20, so if it's in the second half of the numbers, we'll just count back around with these. And I thought this would be fun to do just because I tend not to read the books that I own. I always prioritize library books, so might as well. First up, I have Kamila Shamsie's Burnt Shadows. She's had a couple of more recent books that have made the rounds on Booktube. This, I believe, is about a woman who is in Nagasaki when the atomic bomb goes off in 1945 and then moves to India to restart her life. And so then in India she's living through the independence movement, and then I believe we follow later generations in the United States. But as I said, I haven't read this, so I don't know. Book number 2 is Ismail Kadare's The Traitor's Niche. This is translated from Albanian by John Hogson. This is set during Ottoman times and involves a courier who is transporting heads from Albania to Istanbul so that these decapitated heads can be displayed along with the heads of other enemies of state and whatnot. I have read other translations of Kadare by John Hogson, so I assume this will be good. Next up, I have a book that I saw a number of people reading this past year, and that is Esmeralda Santiago's When I Was Puerto Rican, which is the first of a trilogy of memoirs. I remember seeing Alba from Seriella reading this, as well as a couple of other people at the same time, and I believe they read the full trilogy. Here, I did actually get this on sale. Book 4 is Monica Ali's Brick Lane. This I've had for a long time and keep meaning to read, and yes, library books always bump it off my list. And this is about a family in a Bangladeshi community in London, and I believe the woman is raising her kids and I think has an affair with someone who's very political. So that sounds interesting. This was shortlisted for the Booker the year it came out. Next up I have another memoir. This is Vanessa Springora's Consentement, which is a memoir of her time having one of those unprofessional relationships in which someone is much more junior than their partner. Sort of Me Too adjacent, I guess. I saw one from Bookish Islander talk about this, and it sounded interesting. That I had been waiting for my library to pick up, and they never ordered it, so I was ordering from Renaud Bray a bunch of comics as I usually order from them, and I needed to buy something to push myself over the shipping limit, so that was what I picked up. Book 6 is Ali Smith's How to Be Both. This is another one that was shortlisted for the Booker the year it came out. I believe that this is 2 stories set 500 years apart. It's Ali Smith, so I assume there will be some artsiness to the style of it, maybe. This is one of those books that I got because it was on a clearance sale. Otherwise I would have gotten it out of the library. And if I'd gotten it out of the library, I would have read it already. Alright, book 7 is Mishell Baker's Phantom Pains. This is the second book in the Arcadia project, which is an urban fantasy series involving a world in which there's a portal to a different universe, but it uses British fairy language because the first portal was opened in some historic era in the UK, and this is set in the US in the current day, and they hire mentally ill people to be the liaisons between the fairy world and the human world, because this way if they slip up and tell someone about the secondary world, no one will believe them because they'll just say, well, that person is psychotic. Which is an interesting concept, and I enjoyed reading the first one. The first one was one of the last books I got out of the library before I left Houston. And I picked books 2 and 3 up a while back at a local remaindered bookstore at a discount, and I have just not read them in the 2 years that I've had them, so. Number 8 is Farzana Doctors 7, which I believe is about a woman who goes to India to do family tree research about her great-great-great-grandparents and then gets involved in political activities. Farzana Doctors' 6 Meters of Pavement is one of my favorite books that I've read in the past 10 years, I think, so I'm definitely looking forward to this. Her last book all-inclusive. I didn't love, but it was at least doing interesting things, which I always appreciate, so I'm looking forward to this. I don't really know why I haven't gotten to this yet, although I did buy this relatively recently. Number 9 is another Canadian novel. This is Night of Power, which is about a family in Calgary who were originally from the Asian community in Uganda who were kicked out in those days, and the father and son have a disagreement about their family business, I think. Drama ensues. And I believe this author is local, I think. Yeah, it says she lives in Toronto. And finally, number 10 is Slavinka Drakulich's Cafe Europa, which is musings on East versus West in Europe and coffee houses. Coffee and the whole East-West discussion are two of my favorite things, so of course I wanted to read this. And as with everything else, I haven't because I don't prioritize the books that I own. So those are my 10. As I said, I'll double over if the number is in the 11 to 20 zone. We'll see how it goes. And cheers to Rick for deciding to put something like this together. All right, that's it for now. Ciao.